Hello, welcome back to Build Showcase, the show where I show you builds that I've made. As always, the first sort of quarter of an hour is going to be the most significant part. I recommend you watch that, let me explain the build, and then you can see if you want to take it further or not. But if you're really looking for something to tell you whether or not you're going to like the build, then you can continue on and see me actually play with it, which I think is a pretty good synopsis for this series that I've never given. It's Scout's turn again, which is good because Scout's not receiving any major changes in the November maintenance update. And yes, I am talking in future tense for that because, well, this has been recorded on the 19th of November. It's been out for 3 days on Steam, but we've got a 2-week wait for console, which means that this won't be outdated console-wise. I'm not sort of going forward, I'm not going back in time with this or anything like that. The next build showcase will be firmly recorded within and placed within the maintenance update. And luckily, though, we don't have any changes here, except for chemical explosion bolts, what they call explosive special bolt chemical explosion, where they want to make a shellback T-pose if it's killed by the damage over time effect. Obviously, the only other change is sort of electricity in general has been changed, but this is obviously. That won't affect the bolt shark. It could affect the Drac, but I don't intend on using electricity with that anyway. So, sort of scraping up against some of the last two distinct overclock builds, really. The next one will definitely be cryo bolts, and then I might have something possibly lined up for shield battery booster. I'm not 100% sure. It's kind of awkward, but you know, I've already explained. The series isn't exactly gonna change in terms of how it's presented. I thought I might do that, but the cryo cannon thing, the good or bad thing, kind of didn't go down as well as I thought it might. So, but once I sort of ran out of those overclocks that are distinguished, builds that are distinguished by 2 overclocks I haven't used before in the series, it's just going to be about an overclock, and then the other weapon that isn't the main focus doesn't matter as much, as long as it's a good build. That's sort of how things are going to go afterwards. And that could be the case for shield battery booster. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not there yet. But either way, today is... Yeah, so this is pretty much the last one aside from my cryo bolt build. And I really like this one because I really like the specialist and I really like chemical explosive bolts. I also really like thermal exhaust feedback on the Drac. I mean, I like the Drac in general. I like both of these weapons a lot. And this was a build that's been sort of refined over time into something that's okay. This isn't really the top tier of my sort of pre-defined builds, really. And I don't exactly know why. But there's still a good synergy here, like a nice sort of blend of damage over time effects and direct damage, and sort of crowd control, and even HVT killing potential and all these sorts of things like burst damage. We've got pretty much everything that we want. So I'm just going to go through it step by step. Obviously, certain things don't really matter. Grappling hook, the only thing that I recommend is that you take high velocity ejection system. That is the #1 most essential. And then I also recommend at least 1 cooldown and increased range, at least one of those two. Each. Flare gun, also not important. Armor rig, also not important as usual. Although I do recommend what you're seeing here. I'm just saying it's not endemic to the build. Same with perks. Standard perks out for Scout. I take hover boots and heightened senses. I could take Beastmaster. I think it's one of the ones where I normally would actually, but I don't think we're going to need it. Thorns is also standard Scout. I'd say Vampire too, just because we can quickly get in and get out for those vampire kills. Sweet Tooth is not specific either. I just, once again, up to you. Same with the pickaxe. But yeah, obviously the weapons and the grenade are the main thing here. So the plasma carbine. Now, thermal exhaust feedback is a somewhat difficult overclock to explain in terms of why you'd use it, especially with how much shield battery booster got buffed. But basically, my stance is all three of the Drac's unstable overclocks are built for single target, while all the others are either generalist or, so you know, we've got generalist, which is these two, or we have crowd clearing AOE, which is these two. The 3 unstables though are all single target, just with different kinds of drawbacks. They just basically suit different play styles. They don't have a different result. I would say the only exception is Overtune Particle Accelerator, where you're not really going to have much, if any, long-range single target damage. But overall, they all fulfill the same purpose, except different sort of things. You know, this gives you the most damage and is the most consistent, but it also, you have less ammo and poor accuracy. You just don't have, it's just unconditional. That's the only thing. The other two are conditional. Shield Battery Booster is conditional on you having a full shield, and it can also collapse your shield by overheating. But it also has the benefits of having a base increase in ammo and fire rate anyway, which is why Thermal Exhaust Feedback sort of is interesting in that it doesn't have any extra stuff to sort of, doesn't have any extra like fallback mechanics or fail safes like Shield Battery Booster does, and it doesn't have the consistency of Overtune Particle Accelerator. It's conditional. You need to be above 50% heat to feel the effects. It also increases the heat generated per shot. It makes it so it's much more dangerous to be in that margin of heat. But in my opinion, it is the most reliable because we don't lose damage. We don't lose ammo, and we can deal really significant DPS from more angles than usual. It's really not reliant on weak point or even just plain flesh hits. Armor doesn't matter as much with Thermal Exhaust Feedback, and that's why I think I love it. And also just inflicting damage over time so powerfully is very satisfying. It comes a lot down to satisfaction, but I don't think that's unreasonable as a reason to like something in a game that is where the meta isn't too important. But I still think it's actually a really great overclock. I'd give it at least an A. It's really up there in terms of the drag. And I hope to show you why. It gives you this really cool window of like a skill window where it's like if you can stay within that range of applying heat, you don't lose it and you don't overheat, you're going to feel really powerful. And it's really satisfying to sort of learn. I hope I can show that off. And obviously it pairs wonderfully with this build that we got for the Bolt Shark here, which is and there's a big reason for that. I did say a lot of it has to do with normal bolts specifically. In this build, we go focus as much as we can to getting as many chemical explosive bolts as we can, which is 16. So we take chemical explosive bolts. It's the most, it's like the pivotal upgrade for this build. It gives us our main source of crowd clearing. And therefore we take Expanded Special Quiver, which gives us 4 more. In fact, if we don't have that, and if we don't have Specialist, we actually go straight down to 9, which is not a lot at all. But by taking both of these things, we go straight up to 16. Reload speed, because we want to be able to swap between the two, because both types of bolts are actually really important in this build. And Radio Transmitter Module 2, we don't want to lose our bolts. Chemical explosive bolts can be retrieved, so we definitely want to take advantage of that. And Tier 5 is obvious. We definitely don't want fear, because we want enemies to stay grouped up. We don't have any form of electricity. We want the belt to last longer. That's more damage over time for our bolts, and that's a longer window with which we can use to make enemies explode. And I think the Specialist being in play here is pretty obvious. But yeah, so both the normal bolts and the special bolts are very valuable because the caveat, in my opinion, to Thermal Exhaust Feedback is that it's not a great thing to use against trash. In fact, I would say not at all. You really want to save it for big, chunky enemies that you need to spend a lot of time shooting anyway. Once you're at that level of heat, though, pivoting to shoot at sort of trash is actually not a bad idea. It's just starting there. I'd say basically individual grunts, Mactera Spawn, and web spitters and things like that, sort of HVTs, and also just lonely trash, basically. That's what our normal bolts are for, basically. So we use those to clear up an individual grunt, an individual Mactera Spawn or Trijaw, a web spitter, an acid spitter, a cave leech. These sorts of things go down very easily to normal bolts. So that's nice. I didn't actually explain the build choices here, and I do think they are important. So tier 1, we have velocity. I would say you actually don't want this. This is actually a nerf to this build, but rate of fire is also valid, but we already have travel time on the Bolt Shark, and we're not improving it, so I kind of want something that's more reliable at range here with the Plasma Carbine. Ammo is because our main source of damage is not reliant on direct damage as much, it's reliant on fire, like sort of heat-based direct damage, not kinetic damage as much. So I actually want more ammo, so we have just more shots to apply that level of heat with, rather than increasing the damage. Unless it's a conversion, in which case there's probably a really strong argument for it being better with higher damage. Okay, tier 3 is interesting because I have cooling system here, which it increases cooling rate and cooldown delay, which you might think sounds like a bad idea, and I say potentially, but the truth is we don't want to overheat. Overheating is worse than letting it cool down, basically. That's why, because it means we can't shoot at all, and you get really close to overheating every time you get into that range of applying heat. So I think you'll see why this makes sense, because it's kind of hard to control with it anyway. Tier 4, I've experimented with Plasma Splash in this tier before. Don't do that. It was a bad idea. Armor breaking, though, was very nice. It means we can very comfortably body shot lots of different enemies. We can shoot Praetorian anywhere and deal a significant amount of direct damage to it. It feels really great. I did hear something about this armor breaking overclock modification actually being bugged. I don't think it might be bugged, but it still works in that it does break armor, and you definitely deal the heat damage through the armor. And I think that's important. So it's just basically this track build is about applying single target damage in a way that is unconditional. Despite the fact we have a conditional overclock, it's just the fact that we're applying our single target damage through heat, and we also have armor breaking, which helps with that too. Now, tier 5 is interesting, of course. We are really tightening up the window, but we're also delivering so much more single target damage by taking thermal feedback loop. Now, if you're not comfortable with this, I wouldn't blame you for taking manual heat dump at all. I think that's actually fine if you're sort of a beginner with the Drac or a beginner with this overclock. But what I will say is, this build really benefits from you learning the skill of staying in that window of heat. And when you can do that with thermal feedback loop as well, you start to achieve really impressive single target damage, which is why we're going to be doing an interesting combination of missions. Pheromone Canister, by the way, is sort of just a crowd control thing that's also kind of unconditional. We're not playing with electricity here. Cryo Grenade, in my opinion, doesn't make sense, especially because it eliminates the chemical explosion effect, basically. An enemy that dies while under the influence of cryo and the chemical explosion bolt, it won't produce the explosion. So Pheromone Canister disables enemies and groups them up in a way that's more effective than the cryo grenade, because it can group up more enemies than there initially were, basically. Which gives us a lot of leeway with all of our weapons. It benefits the Drac and the explosive bolts. So Pheromone Grenade is the natural choice here. And we're going to be doing an interesting, I would say an interesting combination of missions. I want to do a salvage op because I want to see how well this can really do in a situation. In fact, I'm going to jump straight into it. I want to see how well it can do in a situation where we sort of have to hold our ground, because I wouldn't expect that. This is a build that definitely leans into scout running and gunning playstyle, but it's also a build where you can do pretty well if you just go for it as well, you know. And that's, in my opinion, why salvage operation is somewhat underrated, is that it allows you to really just go all out in the final stages of the mission, because there's no reason not to. And if you don't go all out, you're probably going to suffer for it. Anyway, I will obviously, as usual, for the most part, skip over non-combat scenarios, and we'll just get into it. Hope the build sounds good to people, and they're already interested in trying it out, but obviously, if you need further convincing, well, you're still here, aren't you? But I will see you when we have something to kill. I spotted a menace. Menace is a good one, actually. So it's going to flee as soon as I do this. But if we can actually get some sustained fire on it with the Drac, then we'll see the effects of thermal exhaust feedback pretty quickly. Right. In that position, it's going to flee again. Menaces are an enemy I'd really like to have their behaviour addressed. Maybe that's something that can actually have some standing in the next maintenance update. Sort of pre-season 4 enemies. Right, here we go. There you go. That was a good demonstration. Also, yes, the Drac bolts are good for Festa Fleas, but it's kind of a waste. We got an Omen. Also, Spitballers. Oh, okay. So, what we also have is original recipe Stingtails, which we should be pretty decent against. I want to be careful here. I don't really want to get mixed up in that. I've got mixed up in it. All right.
Yeah, eat each other, monsters.
Okay. Gonna be weird.
Take that! Loot bug, open.
Right, we've got a lot of enemies coming. Whoa! A lot of Spitballers over there. Okay. Okay. Can't hit me from there.
Look there! Boom, baby! You bug pop. We got the menace.
God, it's getting dark, isn't it? This is the problem when you use natural lighting and live in England.
Reach down! Jaw dropping. Taste the pickaxe!
Right, that's going to be death if I don't be careful. It was death. Okay, this is a great start.
Thanks, Bosco! Cliff and Stingtail down!
I think I might enjoy a bit of extra accuracy with this, because I've used up a lot of ammo
Fire!
already. Hello, sir. Hello. Okay. Focus your mind. Surprisingly, picking up legs and such things has triggered an ambush. Now I'm going to be, it's going to be a pheromone situation, I think.
Pheromones!
And yes, once you have a good group of enemies, like a lot of enemies grouped up, using the bolts, the explosion bolts, to domino the enemies is a good idea. Like it works wonderfully, actually. What the hell?
What a jaw-dropping experience!
Beautiful.
It's past your expiration date!
The holy horde over there.
Bosco! Have to wait for flare recharge. Dexter stopped fleeing.
I just accidentally stopped recording, which is not great. It shouldn't be a problem though. We carry on. Now I am strongly anticipating an ambush after. Not even after. They couldn't wait.
Operational. Well done.
Hey fellas.
Lloyd!
Interesting.
Frenemies!
That's something. We actually have a really good amount of explosive bolts. So using them for supplementary single target damage is perfectly fine. But that's the role that they play in an elimination. So going to be constantly making sure the enemies are bolted.
These bugs don't stand a chance.
That could have been better. Oh, that could have been better too. Oh dear. Hold on. Thank you.
Not again.
Right. I think. Can I justify putting a resupply here? I think I can. Well, that's not inherently the right move, is it? Depends on what the omen is composed of. But I can't remember the. I believe the top one is on the right from here. I think that will be the top one. I think is how it works. Drone replicator twin site. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put this here.
Resupply ordered.
Supply
And this is our next port of call combat-wise. So I'm just going to keep the recording going, especially with these guys showing up.
Spraying the bugs.
Oh dear!
Live pod is here. Everybody collect ammunition.
I'm going to use explosive bolts here because, frankly, I'm going to need normal bolts and drag ammo for the Omen. Oh, what the hell was that? Right.
Red sugar.
I am glad that they nerfed these things, but all I keep seeing is that they probably went too far, which doesn't surprise me.
Quiver's empty.
It's not unlike Ghost Ship. I think when something is really like on people's nerves, I guess, they get kind of scared and they tend to go like all in on a change, even when that's not inherently the right move. Although, I mean, that's not true often for the broader stuff.
Ready to kill some more crates.
The season toggle is absolutely like a significant compromise. They could have just turned it off or just forced people to stick with it. Okay, I'm hoping I'm right. Obviously, I am right. Okay. Okay, normal bolt's going to be to take care of the drones. Drac is going to be for the main DPS. Although I might have to just stick with the Drac the whole time. I can't really leave this spot. I'm going to need its turn. I'm going to need it.
Out of my way.
Okay, drones have gone. Hold on a minute. This wasn't a good idea. You know, I can handle this, but okay, this is fine. And I'll go over here.
Rubbish equipment.
Fuck. That's not good. That's really not good.
Oh, I'm out of here. That goddamn overheated.
That's really not good. It's missing everything.
All out of bolts.
Man. Give me that bolt. I don't have time, am I? I don't think so. Right, I'm gonna need to get... Let's dodge that. Get up on the ledge. Turn around. Turn around. Are you kidding me? But sometimes, because I think, well, corrosion works against it, which doesn't surprise me, but let's see. Okay, Bosco, stop. Stop. It's working. Maybe we should let the bolts do the work. Alright, no, Bosco as well. Okay. And pickaxe.
Done. Time for some core infusion.
Well, that wasn't easy.
Good job, team. Core infuser ready.
This is definitely one of those builds that isn't automatically good. It's just a sort of nice synergy that
Grabbing ammo.
I guess it's kind of just something that it's nice to have an option. It's not like the strongest thing in the world. I mean, it's really not. Then again, I am a solo scout. It is still very much so the case that
Lights up.
you know, crowd clearing is simply not scouts' thing. But there are plenty of ways to do it. You're just still not going to be as effective as any of the others, any of the other characters, classes. after shit. Hey!
Have some hate in a can. This one's for Carl.
Okay.
Eat it. Gotta go fast. Please.
Oh, the web spitter gang. Alright, cool.
Die, monsters. Yeah. Ah! It's overheated.
Mother. Yeah, Stingtail's definitely gonna make this interesting. By which I mean horrible.
See you, suckers. Took out a loot bug. Good times.
Oh, what? What do you guys want? Yeah, so kind of what I want to do in sort of go back to the accuracy thing is take the accuracy mod. Obviously that replaces our cooling, but I'm thinking because I want to test my actual skill at staying within the window, because losing it has actually been quite annoying. Like, I feel like if I didn't have my increased cooling rate, I probably wouldn't have lost the window of heat there. And I could have started with the heat against the menace. So yeah, this is going to be an explosive bolt pheromone fest. I'm going to be careful because I can, of course, hurt myself.
You'll need to stay inside the triangulation zone. Get back in there.
Probably shouldn't have normal bolts equipped at all, actually.
75%, almost there.
Actually, that probably didn't do anything. Motherfucker.
Uplink triangulation completed. Remote control reestablished. Stand by, sending in fresh fuel cells for the drop pod.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Okay. Didn't use much drag ammo there. I want to change that. I definitely think, you know, this is the kind of drag that you don't really spam. Spike, what the hell are you doing up there? Can't really do anything about that because it'll just be.
Recharging.
If I bring it down, it'll just be stuck against the wall. You know, I'd rather actually have the open space. So let's do it. Also, if you haven't noticed, the face cam is now in low frame rate mode, but it's dark out there. Waiting around for an ambush, and I was rewarded.
Flares up.
Rack spam time. See how our faith has been rewarded. Definitely want to be full on
Getting more ammo.
bolts and pheromones before I start this. So take advantage of that sweet solo nitro.
Fuel cells charging. Stay close to keep them operational. We're expecting an increase in hostiles. You're jeopardizing the mission.
Not how I wanted this to
Stay
start.
close to the fuel cells.
They're back.
Fuel cells at 50%.
Ain't no hiding from me, bug.
So I talked about the high velocity on the Drac being a long-range insurance thing, and then I don't take accuracy. I feel kind of stupid. I'm definitely taking accuracy. And I think that's probably going to be the only change that I make to this build as well. The only other thing, actually, there is another permutation of this build that I should mention. And I'm not going to use it because I plan on doing elimination, and that will hurt me on elimination if I do this. But there is a version, and I think I'm going to save it for Shield Battery Booster. That might be what it's for. So what I'm talking about, sort of another version of this Drac build. No, of this Bolt Shark build specifically. The crossbow specifically. Where I use bolting points instead. And it's not about using normal shots at all. But I think that makes far more sense with Shield Battery Booster. Also, that probably is going to be a build, given that that makes use of 2 distinct overclocks. So I don't see that changing. Okay, that went fine.
Charged. Drop pod engine powering up. Hold your ground. We're almost ready to pull you and the goods out.
So I'm still thinking about my Fat Boy and Hyperpropellant builds. Hyperpropellant's definitely going to happen, by the way, for sure. I'm definitely going to do that video, because I think I know how I would do it, but I'm still scared. I don't like it. Hyperpropellant is satisfying when you use it for what it's meant to be used for, but I still don't like its existence.
Calculating orbital trajectory.
Fat Boy is the same, but Fat Boy's even worse because Fat Boy's so bad in solo. Hyperpropellant's actually quite good on solo.
Powering radiation shielding. Recon operation.
Bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow.
Hard thrusters calibrated. Drop pod powered up and ready to leave. It's time to bring it all home. Get on board. We're leaving with or without you.
Anyway, like I said, I want next mission to be elimination, which is obviously very part of the course. And elimination with a warning on it. Either rival presence, lift phage outbreak, or elite threat. Elite threat works too. We just want to face as many different types of enemies as we can, and that sort of fulfills that quite well. But yeah, I think that went quite well. I was definitely snacking at the beginning, but that's because at the moment, with my sort of rate of playing the game, I'm pretty much rusty every time I do one of these, which I think is definitely going to change once I get my hand from the maintenance update. But yeah, I think that showed off a lot of stuff. The single target and crowd clearing, and I mean, it showed the fact that the ability to move is obviously, I'd say, pretty important. Also, look at this. We got these eliminations with lift phage outbreak. They both got beneficial anomalies on them, and I don't approve of that. See, that's probably what we're going to do. In fact, it's what we're going to do. I don't really have a choice.
Drop pod is cleared. Warm
Yeah, the ability to move is still extremely valuable. Staying still is not a good thing. And spamming doesn't inherently help us, especially with the fact that if we have to hold our ground, and we're spamming explosive bolts, we're actually putting ourselves in a lot of danger. Anyway, I'm going to take the accuracy in here, and that's the only change I'm going to make. I think apart from that, it still feels just as good as it used to. Which that is to say, fine. I would give this build, I don't know, like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 if I had to rate it, like in a strength scale.
Excellent trade.
Where's the timer, guys? Was the season toggle in there yet? No. Isn't it down there? I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be down there when it's added. It will be. I was about to unpause the recording and say, oh, look what I found, thinking that I'd found jetty boots. No, it's just Dreadnought. Let's do it.
This is a big one.
So something we're going to be doing is keeping them poisoned at all times.
I gotta watch the overheating.
And focusing quite a bit on the arbalest, as I normally do.
I need support.
What the fuck? Woo! Bring my bolt back. Oh, I guess not. I think I'm already feeling that accuracy. I do wish when you had what's it called? Radio transmitter module, it would actually highlight your bolts on screen. I think, especially with like the changes we got to the turret for the stubby, like actually having a display, like the range and things like that. I think it would be a fair request for like the next maintenance update. Also, in case you're wondering, pheromones don't do shit against it. That's not going to make the other one attack the other one. They're immune. I think it would make normal enemies attack them, but obviously you don't. That's not how it works. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna save my poison bolts now. We've got a good amount of drac ammo, so. And the reason why I really like the twins because of the armor thing. Like they really encourage armor breaking. You know, the other two dreadnoughts don't. You know, their shield segments don't count as armor. In this case, these guys don't have shields; they just have armor that you can break. And anything that makes armor breaking more valuable is good to me. Look at larvae. Now, chances are that lacerator will have some ghost behaviour in just a moment. It's going to try and do its dig attack. Maybe.
Down the hatch.
I'm not sure. Oh, a meteorite. Well, it'll be small meteors. Great. Oh, look at
There are
that.
multiple meteor fragments headed your way. We'll mark the
Yeah,
impact
yeah.
locations as accurately as possible.
Come on. No flares ready.
Yeah, I thought so. They're Rocket's enemies, they're a treat. And this is not bad against them at all.
Yeah, eat each other, monsters.
I mean, having lots of ammo is obviously good, but the weaker ones, like the grunts and the spitters, fire damage does quite a bit against them. Look at that.
Need to provide some better equipment.
That was DPS, that wasn't breaking a boil. Okay.
I got it.
Oh dear. And this is once again demonstrating why eliminations are so good for these videos, because especially if I can get a mutator like Bible Presence or Lift Age Outbreak, I get an entire separate faction of enemies. I get these big ambushes, and I get the Dreadnoughts. It's perfect.
Calling down cleansing equipment.
Calling down cleansing equipment.
Cleansing equipment is en route.
Lighting up. I got the deposit.
Equipment part is on site. Work fast and avoid direct exposure as much as possible.
Domino time.
Go.
Don't worry, Bosco, it's fine. But of course, you don't want to see me cleaning rock box.
Damn.
It's about to get interesting.
Bosco.
Possibly.
Clean up.
Maybe not. I don't know. It might be very standard, actually.
Pheromone. Save your ammunition.
Whoa! Calm down, sir. Calm down. I just accidentally... I did. That on a Praetorian is not great. Although it's going to go down. I think.
Area cleansed. Keep up the good work, and we'll have the rock pox under control in no time.
It's overheated. From A to D, skipping B and C. Much better. Bam! Let there be light.
Fine.
Bloody hell, you're hot to kill. Feel much better now. Out of fault. Maybe I pushed around some and didn't hit anything.
Yeah.
No bolts left.
Right, let's gotta get through this. Find a place to put down the resupply. Actually, better than that, I need to... Oh, I do have the nitro. Okay, thank Christ.
Lights up. Light. For Carl. Just what the hate to wait for their charge.
Right.
Light is up.
What's going on here, then? Wait. Oh, I can't... I'm gonna need a resupply. I think... Just no matter what.
Nitro's been withdrawn, and supply pod is inbound.
I can't hold off for that long. Ooh, golden loot bug. Warden. We didn't get Warden last mission.
Resupply is here.
Ah, yes. The Frost Praetorian. About to become a force of nature. I haven't seen anyone talk about the Frost enemies, though. That they actually do damage now. Which is an underrated aspect of that update, by the way. There's a couple, like, the things that they did in terms of, that are, like, really retroactive. So buffing the Frost enemies so you can actually deal damage. Making it so you can electrocute process and dreadnoughts. Like, it's great stuff. And like adding the new loadout icons, it's small, but it's like, I really like those retroactive things. This feels like a really great update that sort of pushes the game forward in certain valuable ways, but also makes sure to doesn't forget the past either. It's like really nice. There's seasons they felt so strongly that they were just pushing and pushing forward, and this is awful. I think I can handle it. Uh-huh.
It's overheated. Take off. You're a stain on the floor. I'm totally loaded.
I'll get back to you when I find that warden, and we can bully it. Ah. Hello. Hello, everyone. Oh, shit. Okay.
I'm taking some of the ammo. Hey.
Found it. I can feel that my controller's about to run out. I was thinking to myself, I wonder if there'll be a machine event. If there is, it'll probably be Cursite. What do you know? I'm a genius. I'm a clairvoyant.
Not ready. Flares recharging.
Anyway, so there's a Dreadnought coon there, and that'll be a different one. But if the third one is the twins again, I think I'll definitely skip it. I think because it went well enough the first time that I showed exactly how you're supposed to use this build against the twins, so
Cleansing equipment is
I won't
on
repeat
site.
it.
Time to stop the rock pox in its tracks.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Damn rock pox eating our planet.
Okay. Oh, they're coming. Oh, Lord.
Spraying the bugs.
Wait, what the hell was that? Sorry, I hear something beeping. Ugh.
Final contagion spike neutralized. Scanners show no remaining rock pox in the area. Let's get on with it, team.
An abomination.
Whoa.
Bam!
What the hell? I mean, I don't really hold it against him. Like, it's not a criticism, but I still find it so funny when Snowing Fate first played a Rockbox mission back in Season 3 and he took Super Cooling Chamber because it had been buffed. He thought that made sense. But this is a bastard of a... Just a bastard. Yeah. What a bitch. Oh, all the Rockbox enemies are dead. Anyway, so... Yeah, I swear I heard some kind of beeping that sounded like hover boots, but I don't think so. I think I would see them if I heard them. Oh, shit. Here we go.
I gotta watch the overhead.
Cheer up, big man. This old valley just turned into a free fire zone. Right,
Damn flares could need an upgrade.
Woo! Okay.
Be ready for anything.
Torians!
Cursite beacon
Fantastic.
activated. Aliens infected with
Light
cursite
food.
are going to be drawn to your location. Kill them, grab the samples, and stuff them in the machine for further analysis.
Oh, shit. Ah!
Yeah!
Ah!
You carry a load well, Molly. This'll turn them crazy. One down! Flares ain't ready!
Oh, it didn't explode.
It's
Great.
overheated! Oh, I love this grappling hook. Time to select.
They released the Dreadnought, I assume. I didn't put down a resupply for some reason.
Nicely done, team.
Or did I?
Core
Did I?
infuser is primed and ready.
No, I didn't. Oh dear.
Tripod launch.
Oh dear. Oh look, it's really dark now. We're in orange mode. Piss filter. Look, these idiots. Because something I've observed in previous encounters with Hive Guard is that using a chemical bolt against the Hive Guard itself, it never really does anything. The window's kind of too short, is what I've observed. I tell you what is great, is normal bolts against these things. Delicious. Delicious amount of damage. Now Jack for the rest. Actually, I will use chemical bolts, because you just have enough for it. No, I will. I have so many. And I will have more. I don't have so many, but I'll have more once I resupply as well. Especially because it means that we don't have to actually be around this side to damage it every time. Also, actually not cooling down as much is actually very useful in a situation like this, where we have to jump about a lot and not be firing sometimes because we need to focus on movement. Motherfucker. I know it's hazard 5, but I still don't know how I feel about that just being a one shot every time. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. Not that I'm bad at avoiding them. I mean, I'm better than most people, I think. Even though obviously I just got hit by one, but still.
Pheromone! Crawley's attacking each other!
Hold on. Okay.
That goddamn overheating!
Huh? Thank God. I was a bit worried there that might not have worked.
Whoosh! Ready to kill some more
Okay.
grapes.
I will probably meet you at the next Dreadnought, but obviously it might not be, it might be the twins again. I hope not, obviously. I want to do all three, ideally.
Lloyd is up.
But yeah. I will show you this, in case I get a good chain. Actually, this is a big group of enemies. At least 3 of these.
Suck on this, you freaking nature!
Brilliant. Well, I do have a disproportionate amount of drag ammo now. Sick. Alright. I will actually move on now. Found the bugs. Oh dear. Actually, the pheromones is perfectly fine here.
Have some hate in a can. No, the flares are recharging.
That should work, I think.
Ha! Who's gonna protect you
Very
now,
nice.
we come and get some. Hello. Good boy.
This is a not great arena. Right, I am just going to get on with this. Let's see. Twins. Okay, normal dreadnought. Means you get to see it. Oh no!
You're your own worst enemy.
Oh dear. No, I meant see. That wasn't my fault.
Bosco,
Okay.
you're the best.
Poison you.
What's this?
Attack you.
Zippity.
Go up here. Almost die. Oh no. Oh no.
Break the pie.
Okay. My head was out of the game for a moment there.
Feel much better now.
What are you shooting over there for? So, right, I remember now. Drac is for the shield. Normal bolts are for the weak point. Oh, come down here. Come down here.
Lights up.
Don't want to get cold, do you? Oh, motherfucker. Okay. Not falling for that one again.
Deep Rock really needs to provide some better equipment. Bam!
I suppose. Excuse me. I suppose I should talk about the fact that dreadnoughts can't be set on fire. We still get a lot of damage from thermal exhaust feedback. It deals heat and fire damage. I mean, I know it does, but does it say it does? Adds fire damage and heat. Yeah, damage. It's just not the type of damage that gets weak point bonuses.
Goddamn overheating.
And dreadnoughts don't inherently resist fire damage, I'm pretty sure. Press for mine. They resist everything.
Eat it.
Except electricity.
Gotta go fast.
No.
All your objectives are completed.
Dick.
Drop pod beacon awaits activation.
Good job, mates. Resupply
Alright, I
order.
don't think there's anything left here. I will scrounge a little bit and then get back to you for the extraction. So I've been thinking to myself if I might do a bonus round this video, which is where I would dive into a double warning mission. And I think I will if I get a really short one. And that's usually minimum egg hunt is what that is. And I think I probably shouldn't have said this because I don't think I'm going to do it unless I can get that specific mission. But
T-minus 5 minutes.
yeah. Oh yeah. Have I ever done an escort duty in one of these videos? I have. I remember doing it, but I don't think there's any mission type I haven't played on this. Some that aren't very common. Refining's definitely an uncommon one. I have done them before though.
You snooze, you lose.
I mean, the most common is elimination,
Better hurry.
and then it's probably mining expedition, I'd imagine.
It's overheated. We are free from the
That was our first compressor, and it was fine. Is that another one? Sorry. What does it actually? What does the bestie actually put the Frostbatorian's attack rating at? Oh, the same. Okay. Ooh, shockers, we haven't had shockers. Which is a good thing. Shockers suck. I really don't. This build actually does not deal with shockers very well at all. Not like small flying enemies. No, sir. Bad news.
That's one for the books.
So yeah, we can do pretty much everything except, well, actually, tiny enemies in general are absolutely a weakness of this build. I'll have to admit that.
Thanks you for your good
But apart from that, we can handle
with or without you.
everything. Single targets, big groups of enemies. That's it. The further distinction is sort of HVTs, I guess, which are like the weak priority enemies. We handle those very well. Even menaces, which are sort of the middle ground. Combine the normal bolts and the drac. Brilliant. Also, I hope I demonstrated that the chemical bolts are awesome. The fact that we can have quite a lot of them, so we can use them very well for crowd clearing and for supplementary single target damage. All kinds of things. It's not a direct combo build, but it's just a build that synergizes with itself so well. Alright, let's have a look. Absolutely not. Good God. Something I have done in the past though, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and find a Betsy, and there's an easy way to do that. In fact, I won't even finish the mission. I just want to kill a Betsy, or a Corlock, either way. And I'll get back to you when we found one. But I hope that you've sort of seen what's happened in this gameplay and being convinced. I'm actually a bit more convinced than I was in this build. It's a lot of fun, it's really satisfying to use. It uses two really cool overclocks for two of my favourite weapons. I strongly recommend it. It's not overpowered, but it's very tangible in its usefulness as well, I think. But let's find a Betsy, or a Corlock, or a Prospector? But not a Corruptor. I don't want to find a Corruptor. I've actually quit these missions when I found Corruptors before, because I just don't want to do it.
Time team, alien eggs. The company wants them. Don't ask why. Find them, store them in Molly, and return. Simple.
Relax. I took out the cave leaks.
Jesus Christ.
NATO site breeder down.
Eh.
Die, you double-jointed freaks! Die! I gotta watch the overheating. Oh, I'm out of here. What's it? That thing made a right proper mess.
I mean, I don't know why I'm doing all that stuff. There's nothing in this mission except from the Betsy, so I'm just going to kill it and then dip. But this is awesome. That's the first mission. Like, really? I'm impressed.
Yikes! That thing almost took my
I'm
beard
very
off.
grateful to the gods.
Player charge.
Okay, so I want to get a good angle. Oh shit, fuck. Because, you know, you can't set Betsy on fire, so I really want to use this as proof that the fire damage is the main thing and not setting enemies on fire.
Eat it!
Well, not inherently the actual on fire aspect, but just the damage that it adds is more than
Sugar.
enough. Ah. Turn around. So this is where my piss poor accuracy is really coming into play. Normal shot. Perfect. There you go. That's it. That's all I wanted to do. Killer Betsy. So that concludes this episode of Build Showcase. Well, as always, if you have any suggestions or actually feedback for the build itself, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'm really open to new build suggestions at the moment. I'm not desperate like at all, but I'm just simply interested in what other people have to offer. So please, just do that. Once again, hope that you found this build interesting and want to try it for yourself. I really recommend that you do. And as always, if you enjoyed this, please make sure to like, subscribe. If you want to stay on top of if you want to see more build showcases and want to stay on top of everything to do with Deep Rock and Roadcore, then click the bell as well. And I'll see you next time.